Let's go down to Gainesville, where the Florida Gators are going to take on the Miami Hurricanes in the Swamp, which is going to be an epic battle to start the season. All eyes are on the Swamp this weekend, not just our eyes, also recruits' eyes. One of the biggest names in the country is going to be on hand. That's DJ Picket. Yes, DJ Picket committed to LSU this summer. He's going to be there for the Florida Gator home opener. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Florida's trying to chip away at LSU. I talked to DJ Pickett's dad, Damian, on Sunday night, and he told me his son is 1,000% committed to LSU. And he's going to visit LSU 3 times this season for the UCLA game, the Alabama game, and the Oklahoma game. What a tough, weird schedule for LSU as we navigate these new conferences and some of these ball games.
Mm-hmm.
But Florida, Billy Napier has taken that recruitment by the reins. He's been the Florida coach that's been in most touch with the Picket family since the summer. And they've been to some big games inside the Swamp before. They were there last year when Florida knocked off Tennessee, dominated their rival in that ball game. And they're going to go through all the recruit stuff that Florida recruits do on a game day. But right now it seems like they're still climbing uphill for a commitment that's very strong to LSU.
All right. Now, Ty Jackson has come out. He's the number one linebacker in America out of the state of Florida. And he's come out and he said, I want to see how the Gators do this fall. And he's going to give them plenty of time. Ty Jackson's not set to decide until December. He's going to take this thing the distance to the early signing day. Ty Jackson, Keith Niebuhr told me he's UF's number one most important target heading into the fall. But who is the main competition when it comes to Jackson?
Well, right now I look at Alabama and Florida State, but schools like Penn State and Tennessee are also in the thick of it for Ty Jackson. He's going to take an official visit to USC in 2 weekends and give the Trojans an opportunity to make a move. But Florida's a school that he's been on their campus as much as any during his recruiting process. He took his official visit in June. In July, all his favorites are trying to get him to come back. He decided to go back to Florida's campus at the end of July. But talking to his dad, Samaj, going into this Florida visit, he laid it out there. It's time to put up. You know, I mean, Florida has poured a lot into this season, year 3 of the Billy Napier era, from a recruiting, from a transfer portal standpoint. What are they going to look like against Miami? There's a lot of internal confidence that they're ready to start turning the corner. They've expressed as much to recruits like Ty Jackson, but now it's time to go out on the field and prove it. New strength coach, new nutrition person. This coaching staff, there's a lot of excitement around the program. Internally, they want the world to see it. They want people like Ty Jackson to finally witness it against the top 20 opponent, Miami, on Saturday. They get that done. They start humming this year. They could be tough to beat for the number 1 ranked linebacker in the country when all said and done.
Yeah, one more name I want to talk to you about that's going to be in the Swamp, and that's Hilton Stubs. Early in March, Hilton Stubs committed to USC. It shocked everybody, but I think nobody was shocked more than the Florida Gators. Then Stubs decommits. I'm thinking, well, he's going to end up in Gainesville. He takes a couple visits, ends up committing to the Miami Hurricanes. He's going to be expected to be back in Gainesville this weekend to watch these 2 teams. Is Hilton Stubs one of these battleground recruitments that the Gators could maybe flip with a good season and a win against Miami?
Well, Florida was on a lot of short lists for a lot of their top targets, and Hilton Stubs is certainly one of them. We've talked about it before, Josh, on these shows. Florida has a season that they want to have this year. If they beat Miami on the field, Hilton Stubs is definitely a name that you keep an eye on as this process continues, because he's always had a lot of love for Florida. He spent a lot of time in Gainesville. Similar to Ty Jackson and his family, I think he just wants to see what it looks like on the field. Are the Gators for real? Is this a program that can compete for SEC titles? Are they a program that's developing their players and putting them in position to be drafted as high as they want to hear their names? There's no question he likes the coaching staff, is comfortable around them, very comfortable when he's in Gainesville. But Florida's got to go out there and prove it for some of these prospects. Hilton Stubs is another one.
All right, and that's going to be a 3:30 kickoff in Gainesville in the Swamp. There's going to be like 100 recruits there. And Steve, after the game, we're going to debut something new on this channel, a live show called The Recruit Reaction. So right after the Florida-Miami game, we're going to go live. You're going to have recruit reaction happening as we go live with the show. We're going to have recruits on the show potentially. It's going to be a fun thing. We're going to do this every Saturday. Actually, we're going to go live at some point every Saturday with a major recruit reaction show. There's nothing else like this in terms of recruiting on YouTube. Steve, I'm excited for this.
No question, man. It's going to be fun. Going to be a lot of fun in the swamp for one of those two teams, Florida, Miami. Big opportunity for both. Miami trying to show, hey, we're also taking steps forward as a program. They've crushed the transfer portal. They had a top 5 recruiting class last cycle. There's a lot of expectation for Miami going into that game inside the swamp. And Miami, too, as they try and get back in the – well, I shouldn't say get back, but they're one of the front runners for 5-star defensive lineman Elijah Griffin. We all love Georgia there. But if Miami wins these games, has the kind of season they're trying to have, 11, 12 wins, they'll be fun to watch at the end of the cycle as well.
Yeah, and, like everything we said about DJ Pickett in his visit to Florida this week, it also applies to Miami. And if they have a good year in year 3 under Mario Cristobal. So a lot of recruiting implications.
Joshua Moore is a receiver committed to Florida right now that Miami was maybe the runner-up for. He'll be at the game.
He's another one of those battlegrounds. So we're going to have all the recruit reaction after the show. We're going to talk all about the implications of the game as it pertains to recruiting. It's going to be a lot of fun.